G'day folks, Cortezerino here. Today I'm going to show you how to build this server-friendly AFK oak tree farm. Now you might have seen this technique before where you're chopping up at the tree, and when you chop the first log you plant the sapling using the double hand technique, and this way you can just AFK and keep growing more trees. Now the problem with this is it does not work on a server. Believe me, I've tried. Server lag absolutely kills it. You'll find that you're chopping up the tree, you chop the first log, plant the sapling, and the next thing you know, the sapling has disappeared. But this farm has a way to get around that, and I'll break the sapling. So let's say, because of server lag, we've failed to plant the sapling. Now, what the design here is doing is it's doing a bit of a countdown, and it's starting to think, mate, it's been a while since we've had a tree. I'm going to force you to plant one. And you saw it right there. So that iron block comes along in front of our axe and forces us to plant another tree. And it seemed like a pretty long delay then, but because of server lag, you need a pretty long delay. Now this farm does have a couple of quirks. You saw one there. I'm using slime block crushers here on double piston extenders to break the leaves. Now the good thing about that is we get way more saplings than we use. But occasionally they'll get stuck out there, but it's not a big deal, and as soon as you plant the next tree and it grows up, they'll get retracted. That's just a little quirk. It does not break on a server. I've been using this for a while and it works just fine. The other quirk you can get is sometimes when this iron block comes along in front of your axe, rather than plant the sapling, you'll just chop away at the iron block, but it's not in front of you for long enough to be able to break it. So there are two quirks to the farm, but it does work perfectly. You get more saplings than you use, and you get lots and lots of oak wood. To make this farm more server friendly, we activate it with a pressure plate. So if you're ever kicked off the server for one reason or another, this farm will shut down and won't be causing lag for the other people on the server. And you also receive a sapling from this dropper every time a tree plants, and that way you'll never run out of saplings. But there is one little bug with this technique here of dropping the sapling when there's a minecart nearby. So you have to check which direction you're facing when you build this farm, because if you're facing west, and I'll show you over here, there's nothing in the minecart, and we will hit the dropper. Nothing comes out. The dropper doesn't even click, but the sapling's gone into the hopper. So it thinks it's dropping straight into there. So if you build it facing west, like we are now, you'll have to build the farm in a mirror image and have the dropper on this side. So to begin, place a slab with a stone pressure plate on top. Now we're going to build a platform to stand on, so we'll come out 1, 2, 3 in this direction, and then place 4 along here and 4 along here. I'm going to place some lighting right here, but you can put your lights wherever you like. Then we'll place a piece of redstone dust right there, and come down here, a temporary block there, delete that. We'll come out 1, 2 more, then 1 here, 1 there, then a temporary block on top, delete that one. And we'll run dust all the way down here and place a redstone torch right there. Then you want to place a block on top of this torch, a block on this side, a block on this side, and we'll come down 1, 2 more there, and we'll place 2 blocks there, place a comparator leading into that block, turn around, another comparator right there, and then dust there, there, and there. You can then place a torch on the side of that block, place a sticky piston against that torch, then we'll place an observer block on the end of that sticky piston facing straight up, another observer block facing down into that one, and then on top we'll have our dispenser facing in this direction, and it's firing now, but we'll place a piece of redstone dust right there to turn it off. Now we'll build our timer that will detect when it's been too long since we've planted a tree, and will force us to plant a tree. So I want you to come under here, place a temporary block, a block there, delete the temporary block, then a block right there, another temporary one, block on top, delete that. Then we'll place a repeater coming from that block with the dust on it, then another piece of dust right there. Next I want you to place 6 blocks along here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 6 more beside them. And we'll place 5 comparators coming from this piece of dust, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, swing around, 5 in the opposite direction, like so, and then dust there and there. Next I want you to place a torch right there, so when the pulse extender becomes unpowered, it's going to send a signal from this torch and we'll make it a burnout torch so it repowers our pulse extender. Next I want you to come underneath, place a temporary block there, delete that one, then we'll place a block there, and then 3 like so, 1, 2, 3. Then place dust all along there and 1 there. And to stop this pulse extender becoming a clock, we're going to place down 2 repeaters, 1 on a 2-tick delay and 1 on a 4-tick delay. Next you can place a piece of dust right here and we'll put a block there so the dust does not connect. Then we'll do a temporary block there, block on top, delete that one, and a block there. Then you can place some dust right there and a repeater on a 2-tick delay. Next we're going to build a 1 wide pulse extender, so we'll place a block right there in front of the repeater and a block on top with dust on both of them. Then we'll place a temporary block there, block on top, block there, delete that one, and temporary block there, block on top, delete that one, and we'll place a comparator facing in that direction. Then we'll put a block on top of the comparator, a block right there, and we'll put dust there, there, and there. Then we'll put a slab right there with a comparator facing in that direction, and that comparator is going to be leading into a block. So then come around to this block right here, place another block there with a piece of dust on top, then a sticky piston and an iron block. This one does need to be iron because that's the block you're going to be chopping at, and you don't want a block that you're going to break really quickly. So come around to our pressure plate and we're going to place 2 temporary blocks there and there. Then place a dropper facing straight up on the side of that block and another dropper on top of that, and then we can delete those temporary blocks. Then come around to this side, grab some hoppers, and we're going to place 1, 2, 3 leading into that bottom dropper. On top of this hopper in front of the pressure plate, we're going to place a piece of rail with a hopper minecart on top, and don't break the rail, leave it there. It lifts the hopper minecart up high enough so that it can reach the items through a piece of dirt right above it. So to power this dropper item elevator, we're going to place a temporary block underneath, and then 2 blocks out that side, 2 out this side, and then fill that in. Then we'll place a block there, and delete that and delete that. You can then place a comparator right there, then a repeater there, and a repeater right there, feeding into that dropper, and then dust on these 3 blocks. Next we're going to build the dropper elevator for our saplings. So against the side of this block, place a dropper facing straight up, and then on top of that one, a dropper facing in this direction. Then come around to this side, and we'll place a slab against the side of that hopper, then 2 blocks, 1, 2, with dust there, there, and there, then a repeater on top of that hopper leading into the dropper. Now we're going to build the item sorter that will filter our saplings out from the oak wood and apple. So place a hopper into the side of that bottom dropper, then place a block there, underneath, a block there, a block on the side, then we'll do a temporary one right there, block there, and delete that one. Then you can grab a comparator, place it right there, then we'll place dust on the top of these 2 blocks, then grab a repeater, place it there facing in that direction, with a torch on the other side of that block. Then you can go ahead and place a hopper into the side of that comparator. Make sure it's leading into the comparator and not the hopper below. Now that we've got all our redstone out of the way, we're going to start putting in our hoppers to collect all the wooden saplings. So we'll start by putting some storage here. So we'll place a double chest right there, another one on top, and another one on top, with a hopper chain leading into each chest. And on the top hopper there, you can place a furnace just to cut down on a bit of lag. Then we're going to place 6 more hoppers leading into the back of that one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're then going to place 2 hoppers all along here leading into that hopper chain, like so. Then you can swing around to this side, and we're going to place a line of 6 hoppers here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we're going to repeat this 2 more times. So then come around to this side and we're going to place 4 hoppers leading into those, and we're going to do this 3 more times. So 1, 2, and the last one, 1, 2, 3, 4. All done. Next we're going to hook up our redstone that will send a signal whenever a tree goes. So I want you to place a redstone torch on that hopper right there with a repeater leading into that piece of dirt. And this redstone is not powering the hoppers below, so they'll still be able to collect wood and saplings. Then you want to place a repeater right there, and we're going to break this for a moment and come underneath. We'll grab a dropper and we're going to place one facing straight down against the edge of that repeater, like so, and then we can put our hopper back in place. Into the top of this dropper that we just placed, I want you to place a hopper right there and another hopper leading to the side of that one. This is just a bit of a fail-safe in case, because of server lag, this piston fires when there's some wood in the way. The hopper's an immovable block, so it's not going to push that piece of wood across. So when a tree grows, the signal's going to pass to this repeater here, go through the dropper and be picked up by this piece of dust on the other side of the dropper. Then we'll place a repeater on that block there on a 1 tick delay. That repeater is going to be leading into a block, and then we'll place another block right there, and we're going to come out 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the same on this side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we're going to place dust all along the top here. So now we're going to build our first 2 double piston extenders. So place 3 blocks on the end here, 3 on the end here, and these are going to be mirror images of each other. So on the inside blocks, I want you to place a piece of dust, and then we'll place repeaters on the other 2 blocks. Now the middle repeater is going to be on a 4 tick delay, and the outside repeater is going to be on a 2 tick delay. So same here, middle one on a 4 tick delay, the outside on a 2 tick delay. Now in front of these 2 repeaters we're going to place some blocks, but in front of the piece of dust we're going to place an immovable block, and I'm using melons. It's better to use melons rather than furnaces because furnaces do have an inventory, so they cause the tiniest bit of lag. It's still less lag than a hopper though. That's why we put them on hoppers, but if you can avoid using furnaces and use melons instead, it's always a better idea. So now grab yourself some sticky pistons, and against the 2 regular blocks we're going to place the sticky pistons facing into the tree farm with a slime block on the end, and we'll do the same on this side and another slime block there, and we'll test out that we've got our timing correct. So I'll just place down a torch right here. No problems at all. So now we're going to build our second pair of double piston extenders, and to make this a little easier I'm going to place 3 temporary blocks right here, then on top of this dust 3 more temporary blocks, and then grab some slabs, and we want to place one there, one there, one there, and one there. And we can leave that top block there, but we'll delete those 2 and delete these 3, and then we'll run redstone dust right up the top. Now we're going to come out 5 blocks on this side, 5 on this side, and we're going to copy exactly what we've done below with those double piston extenders. The only difference will be that we're going to put a repeater there and one there, both on 1 tick delays, because we don't want these second pair of double piston extenders firing at exactly the same time as the ones below. Now we're going to build our third pair of double piston extenders. So I want you to grab your immovable blocks. I'm using melons, and we're going to come out 6. So first one on top of that slime block, and then 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we'll place a temporary block underneath with another immovable block right there. Then we'll delete the temporary block. Now we're going to run redstone dust all along the top here. Then when we get to the last one, we're going to place a repeater on a 1 tick delay. That repeater is going to lead into a block, and we'll place a piece of dust right there. And I notice now I put too many hoppers here, so you can take out those last 4 there. We don't need those. Next, grab your melons again, and we're going to place 1, 2 there. Then I'm going to put some lighting in here. It's up to you how you do your lighting, but I think it looks good here. So I'm going to place 3 sea lanterns like so. Then we'll grab our melons again and place another 1, 2, 3. Then with your blocks of choice, place 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're going to run redstone all along here and on top of that melon. Next I want you to place a slab right there, then 2 blocks of choice right there. Then come underneath, place a temporary block there, delete that one, and a block right there. You can run your redstone on these 3, and then right here place 2 repeaters, this one on a 4 tick delay, this one on a 2 tick delay. Then grab your sticky pistons and against the front of those repeaters place 2 in a row and then a slime block on the end. Then come over to this side, place 3 blocks here, 1, 2, 3 with dust on all of those. Then come underneath, place a temporary block there, delete that one and place a block there. Then grab your repeaters, 1 there and there, this one on a 4 tick delay, this one on a 2. Grab your sticky pistons again and against the front of those repeaters place 2 in a row with a slime block on the end. Now before we go any further, we'll come down the bottom here and just check all our timing is correct. No worries. Now we're going to build our slime block crushing walls, and we're going to strategically place regular blocks in the walls so that our double piston extenders aren't pushing too many blocks, and those blocks are also going to be positioned where they're not going to grab the tree or grab our piston right here. So come along to the last pair of double piston extenders that we placed, and we're going to place 3 more slime blocks coming down from the bottom and then a line of slime blocks on this side, and we'll do the same over here. So I'll just show you what to do on this side and then you can copy it on the other side. They're exactly the same. So I want you to come underneath these slime blocks, place 2 blocks of choice and then another one right there, and then run blocks all the way up the edge of these slime blocks. Now from this middle block I want you to place 3 more regular blocks like so, and then we'll fill the rest in with slime blocks. So 2 on the side of that, 3 on top, and same here, 2 on the side of that and 3 below, and that's the shape of the wall, so you can just repeat it over here. Now that's done, we're going to hook up our bone meal, because at the moment our dispenser's not connected to anything. So I want you to come down to this side and place some hoppers into the side of that dispenser. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. On the second last one there you can place a furnace just to cut down on a bit of lag. Then place a double chest right there with a hopper into the side, another double chest on top, hopper on the side, and we will continue this up for another few chests. That's why we have the slab there, so that chest can still open. Another one there, and chest on top. So I've done 5 double chests. That's a fair bit of storage for bone meal, but you could go higher, or you could even add another hopper and repeat that and have double that amount of storage. Now once all these hoppers leading into this dispenser are full of bone meal, your wood and saplings aren't going to be able to be collected by these hoppers here, but that's okay. When the slime blocks push across, any items sitting on here will be pushed away. Now we're going to put the walls and the ceiling onto this room. A lot of these blocks need to be melons, so they won't be moved by the slime blocks, but in some places I'm going to place melons where they don't need to be, just because I think it looks a little bit better. So all along the top of these slime blocks place melons like so, and then down here I want you to place 2 blocks of choice right there and 2 right there, just continuing that line along. They could be melons if you wanted to, I just think this looks a bit better. Then we're going to continue this wall down with melons like so all the way to the hoppers, and then we're going to place 2 on top there and another 2 and do the same right here. And on this side we can just fill this up with melons as well, all the way from the hoppers right to the top of the room. You will need to leave, well, you won't be able to block it up, this space here for the redstone to get in, so when you're building this farm just make sure you're not going to have a baby zombie crawling in from any of the redstone around here. Now for the ceiling, you can place 5 blocks of choice along the back like so, and I like to put a slab right there, again, so a baby zombie can't get in. Now we're going to place a temporary block there, delete that one, and put the ceiling on. This is a very specific height of the ceiling. It's so we can get the maximum amount of growth from our oak trees as possible without growing the extra large oak trees. And I like to put a couple of lights in the middle of that roof like so. Now we're almost done, but one last thing we need to do, because we're using slime block crushers, when they crush the leaves, they're going to push the saplings all over the place. So we're going to have a lot of saplings bursting out the back of these slime blocks. And that's why we brought the hoppers out even further than the slime blocks, to catch the saplings that go through them. So we just want to build a wall at this point here, leaving a 1 block gap for the saplings to come through the slime blocks, hit the wall and drop down. You still will get a few bursting out of this machine, but you'll definitely collect a lot more than you use. So we'll bring this wall all the way down to the hoppers like so, all the way along here and right up to the top, and we'll just seal that up. You get the idea. We'll fill all of this in. Now we can just go around and plug up any gaps, so we don't want beasties getting in there. And just be aware that on the sides where the slime blocks are, you'll need to put your melons, but the rest can be your blocks of choice. And I think we are just about done, guys. I've plugged up all the holes. It's a good idea to build at least half of this underground, and then you don't have to worry about mob proofing, because the beasties won't be able to get in. And also, I built my one on top of a skeleton spawner, so I had a grinder underneath. So I was producing the bones for the bone meal while I was AFKing. So I'll put this world as a world download in the description so you can test it out for yourself, but be aware that because this is a creative world, it's probably going to function really well without the need for this backup piston to help you plant the sapling. But believe me, once you get on the server, you will need it. So I'm just going to change into survival and give this a test run. And this is why we give it a test run, to see if we've forgotten anything. And I have. We need to put the items in for our sapling item sorter. Now, I don't like to fill the entire thing with saplings, because this farm will produce more saplings than you use. It will eventually fill up. So in the back 4 spaces, I'm going to use a block that I know is never going to enter this system, which is obsidian. And I'll put my 18 oak saplings in the first spot. So now I'll give it a test run to see if we've forgotten anything. So inside of this dropper, I'm going to put some saplings, just because there's none in the system just yet. And we'll put our saplings in our offhand, our axe in our main hand, and we can plant to start. Standing on the pressure plate, you want to aim just shy of that block, that iron block right there. And you'll notice the blocks have stuck out. It tends to do that on the first try, but then it should work pretty well after this first one. So we'll wait for another tree and we'll see how we go. And you'll notice the bone meal stops while we're chopping. That's just so we don't waste bone meal while the tree's unable to grow. Okay, I think we're good. So remember guys, you can find the world download in the description, and I've fully tested this out on a server with server lag and it works just fine. So leave a like if this video helped you out. I'm Cortezerino. See you later.